The divisional round is here. That means the Eagles are back in action. We're going to talk about the playoffs with Amani Toomer from NBC Sports Radio, the 24/7 live sports talk network. You can listen at NBCSportsRadio.com. Download the NBC Sports mobile app today. Amani, the playoffs, wild card weekend in the books. The divisional round is here. How are you, my friend?
I am doing great and excited to see a nice weekend of high-level NFL action.
Yeah, man, and it starts in Philadelphia where the number one seed, you work all year to get home field advantage, and you're an underdog. We know why they're an underdog, but are the Falcons coming in here a better football team overall than the Philadelphia Eagles?
I don't think so. I think Atlanta has its flaws. They have the record they have for a reason. They barely snuck into the playoffs for a reason. I think that people are underestimating Nick Foles. I like Nick Foles. I think he's I remember when he played against the Giants this year, he had 4 touchdowns. I don't know how much better you can do than that. He seemed like he knew the offense. He had a good grasp of it. To be honest with you, I haven't seen him since then. I've seen him a little bit on the red zone and whatever, but I haven't watched a consistent game of him. And so I don't understand why. I understand he struggled a lot the last couple of weeks, but this is the playoffs. This is the playoffs. This is an entirely different issue, and he has experience in the playoffs, which is always good. I don't think that I don't think that he's as bad as people think he is. It's kind of shocking how everybody's just dumping on him,
writing him off, right? Yeah, the big problem for him is he hasn't been able to complete the passes down the field. He hasn't completed any passes downfield 20 yards. But in that 2013 season where he had the 27 touchdowns, he routinely was throwing passes down the field with Deshaun Jackson and Riley Cooper. And the Eagles have not been able to get that going with him. But if the Eagles are going to win this game, it's not going to be because of Nick Foles, right? They got to run the ball against this Falcons team.
Absolutely, but one thing the Falcons did last week that was really impressive with their talented linebacker Jones, they can tackle. They don't miss a lot of tackles, and that's what guys like LeGarrette Blount, Ajayi. That's what they pattern their game off of, making people miss, breaking tackles, and. Tell you what, Atlanta last week, if they tackled like they did, I think this game's going to be, it's going to be interesting because, man, their technique and tackling was impressive.
You got Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, Freeman against this Eagles defense, which was number one against the run. They had their moments against the pass late in the game. Do you think the Eagles defense, though, is the difference in this game?
They're going to have to be. Because that's the real strength of Atlanta is Devonta Freeman and Coleman, and they running the football, and they're going to have to stop the run and make Atlanta become one-dimensional. But where Atlanta's strong with their receiving core, they struggled this year, but that's really the strength of their team.
Yeah.
And the Eagles have shown weaknesses in being able to cover the top end receivers. In this league consistently. So, yeah, it's a good matchup. I mean, they're both playoff teams for a reason, and I don't really get the fact that the Eagles are underdogs. I don't think I'd bet against the Eagles in this situation, especially giving away points to the Atlanta Falcons, a team that's, coming off a trip across the country, and now they're going all the way from the south to the north. I mean, they've been a lot of trouble over the last couple of days.
Yeah, that's something that's not being talked about a lot, the toll that it takes to make that Saturday night game. They played the late Saturday night game, having to come back across the country and then refocus for another big game. Good point. We'll get Amani's picks on all these games in a minute, but can you make a compelling case at all for the Titans to beat the Patriots?
No. There's nothing that I think that the Patriots, unless Tom Brady is just so upset that he wants to I can't even say it. There's nothing that they can do. I mean, this team can't score. Maybe if they continually run the ball, I don't think their defense is particularly great. Even though they played well, but when if they can't stop Travis Kelce, how are they gonna stop Rob Gronkowski? If they can't, I just especially Tom Brady. I mean, there's just so many things on this team. I just don't see it. I don't see it. I don't even.
Amani, if you had a compelling case, I think I'd question you. So I'm glad you didn't.
Yeah.
Amani Toomer, NBC Sports Radio, of course, the former Giant wide receiver. Jags and Steelers, they played once, 30-9. Jags blew them out. That defense is legit, but their offense is putrid. So how does the defense translate to a playoff game now on the road?
Well, the defense, they score points. I mean, their defense is a weapon. Their defense is almost like an offense sometimes. And last time they played, they got 5 picks off Ben Roethlisberger. He's talking about retiring. So, yeah, they had two for touchdowns. Ryan Shazier being out is going to be a big problem because Leonard Fournette, if you give him a little space, he could take over a game.
Yeah.
He's that type of running back.
Had 181 yards in that first game.
Yeah, Pittsburgh Steelers came. They can't, and they had Ryan Shazier. So if the Pittsburgh can't stop the run, then it's not going to matter how bad Blake Bortles is or how ineffective he is. They're going to be eating up clock and turning the ball over. This is my upset special of the week. I definitely think that Jacksonville has a great opportunity. Plus, Pittsburgh is always so inconsistent with the way they play. I mean, they could have a bad quarter, and Jacksonville could turn out the lights, really. I mean, they're that good on defense.
Maybe the most compelling matchup of the weekend is the Saints and Vikings because, you got the Saints who can run and pass. You got the Vikings who can stop the run and stop the pass. You've got Keenum, kind of an unknown at this level, really never played a playoff game against Breeze. With all this playoff experience, it's really an intriguing matchup here between the Saints and the Falcons. So kind of break this one down for us and how you see it.
Oh, I think it's the Saints. That's a very fluid offense. It's tough to really stop them. I think it's going to be the Vikings' toughest opportunity to really show what kind of a defense they really have because, they can beat you running, they can beat you throwing, they can beat you with Drew Brees, they can beat you with their tie. I mean, this is a team that it's like a pick your poison. It's a thing you always hear the players say, well, pick your poison. This is last week. You say Alvin Kamara and Ingram only going to have 40 under 50 yards and you're going to win the game. Most people would have said no. So I think that when you look at how well the Saints are playing, and then always the bye week is an issue. These guys are coming off a bye. They've been sitting in the back watching. They're going to be fresh, but are they going to be sharp? Are they going to be mentally sharp? Because if you give the Saints 2 or 3 a quarter, you give them a half, the game might be out of reach by then. And that's what makes the difference between playoff teams. And that's why there's a lot of times where these playoff teams coming off the bye get off to a slow start and they never can make it up.
We've seen it a lot. Amani Toomer here. All right, Saints-Vikings, who you taking?
Oh, man, I think I got to go with the Saints. I'm a believer in that. Another upset special for me.
Saints on the road. You like Jacksonville over Pittsburgh?
Ooh, yeah, I do too. I like that one as well.
Another roadie. Patriots over Titans, correct?
Yeah.
And the Falcons at Philadelphia. How's that one end up?
I think Philly's going to win.
All right. He likes Philly to win. Amani Toomer, NBC Sports Radio, the 24/7 live sports talk network. You can listen to it at NBCSportsRadio.com. Download the NBC Sports Radio mobile app today. Amani, enjoy the playoffs this weekend, pal. We'll catch up next week.
I will. Thanks a lot.